It is feedback time, where I go to a previous video I made and I read over your comments, giving you a chance for your voice to be heard. And as always, I'd like to mention the fact that I will not read over all the comments. If your comment's off topic, or if you're replying to somebody else's comment, I usually ignore those. Or if you happen to have written a novel, I usually will try to read over them and give like the cliff notes of the novel. But at the same time, it's one of the ways that I like to interact with you, my awesome viewers, subscribers, fans, members, especially when it comes to hot topics. So Sunday, I recorded a video after the Xbox One live stream. And obviously, I was tired from the stream, and I came across, I guess, a little fed up with all the nonsense that we've been enduring in Red Dead Online. And who knew that you guys were going to resonate with the video and provide your 2 cents, which is what we're going to go over right now, what you all had to say about Red Dead Online's Breaking Point. So we're going to start things off with Perfect Pooches. The lack of communication is really what bugs me the most about this game. And I agree entirely, Pooches. That's one thing that's always been kind of an issue with Rockstar, hit or miss. Sometimes they try to be more transparent, but a lot of times, not so much. Well, at least compared to other developers who are a lot more transparent. They have roadmaps for their games. Rockstar, not so much. So I really wish they would do a better job communicating with the community. Let's see, Sean, I really want different lobby types. Hardcore for players that like PvP. Griefers who prefer engaging in shootouts rather than hunting and doing missions. Normal for average player who wishes to engage in both PvP and PvE. Basically, yeah, how the servers are now. And then a passive lobby for players who prefer PvE, hunting, fishing, etc. without having to fear being killed by a griefer. Yeah, that's a good idea, Sean. Yeah, I think we definitely need different lobby types. Let's see, Martin says, I have all but stopped playing because of the bugs and moved on to Borderlands 3 and a couple more games. It's a real shame because I love Red Dead, but I can't be bothered to fight bugs. If Rockstar fixes the game, then I'll come back. And case in point, earlier I was working on a few dailies on the Xbox, and once again, the camp pitch issue popped up, you know, and I attempted to fast travel a few times. I even jumped lobbies a couple times. I had to close the app and restart the game before the camp would finally pitch properly. So it seems like no matter how many patches they put out that are supposed to fix issues in the game, it seems like a lot of times they don't really fix the issues, or the fixes are temporary. Let's see, Blue Nova Corgi took me 30 minutes just to get my camp pitched. Exactly. After closing my app so many times, I lost count. After I finally tried to do the trader mission, got stuck in a loading screen. Then try the Moonshiner mission after another loading screen. I stopped playing a few days because of it. Yeah, that's exactly the issue that a lot of people are having. And just like I was talking about a moment ago, Blue Nova Corgi, like that was supposed to be fixed in one of these previous patches, but obviously the camp pitch issue is still there. Let's see, Matt Chris says Rockstar is feeding Grand Theft Auto more than they're feeding Red Dead, and Red Dead is now malnourished, starving, and dying. Rip Red Dead, gone but not forgotten. Well, I don't think, Matt Chris, that it's gone just yet, but you are right. It does feel like that Red Dead Online is malnourished. It's starving for content and the necessary fixes to the game that we've been asking for. And obviously, Grand Theft Auto Online is the bigger of the two online games, and it's the one that's making probably more money in shark cards versus the amount of sales for gold bars in Red Dead Online. But if Rockstar fixes the issues in the game and continues to add content and actually listen to the community and give us what we want, like one of the examples, as we've talked about already, different lobby types, then you'll have more people come back to the game. And then they will actually be able to make some money off of Red Dead Online. Maybe not as much as Grand Theft Auto Online, but it can still be a monetary good source of revenue for Rockstar and Take-Two, even though it'll never be as big as Grand Theft Auto Online. Let's see, Mike, I could feel the disappointment in your voice throughout the video. I rarely play Grand Theft Auto Online anymore, so Red Dead Online is my main game, so I play now. So I definitely want to thrive and grow for years to come. Yes, Mike, we all want this game to succeed. Otherwise, we wouldn't be playing it. I wouldn't be covering Red Dead Online. I wouldn't live stream Red Dead Online. if I wasn't still passionate about Red Dead Online and if I still didn't believe that it could be a successful game in its own right. But yeah, you're right. It was hard for me to hide the disappointment in my voice in that video because, for one thing, I just wrapped up a live stream, and all the issues that we're having to deal with is just compiled together, and nothing seems to ever improve. So obviously, I came across a little bit tired, a little bit more worn out than I should have been. But it is what it is. Let's see, Dr. WGA. Let's see, warm clothes for low levels don't exist. Actually, they do exist. I think somebody pointed that out in reply. Yeah, the Grizzlies outfit. So yeah, there is some warm clothing outfits. And even if you have to go into the snow, the regular clothing is okay. You only lose a little bit of health, but eventually you will be able to get better clothing items, warm weather and cold weather. I really wish they would just do away with the weather system altogether when it comes to clothing, but that's just the way it is. Missions are a figment of the imagination, like Jessica Leclerc's story has been dormant for a long time. Ability cards mean death in PvP for new players. Low-paying missions need to go. Well, there should always be a variety of mission types, like when you're starting off in a game. I mean, yeah, obviously there's going to be lower-paying missions, but as you rank up and you unlock better missions that are more difficult and more rewarding, you have to have different level types when it comes to mission payouts. Let's see, Scott, no camp, no shine shack in my game, 5 times logging in and out. Still nothing. I don't care about updates or passes or free ammo or some hideout hats. I want a game that works, and I'm sorry I've been more than patient. Nothing gets fixed. By the way, good video, GB. Thank you very much, Scott. And, that's definitely one of my virtues is patience. I have a lot of patience, but it's not infinite. And like so many of you, eventually your patience starts to run out. We give Rockstar a chance, and they put out all these patches that take up hard drive space on our Xbox Ones, PlayStation 4s, even PC. And yet it feels like the patches aren't really accomplishing anything. And the game just seems as bad as ever. And in some cases, it might actually be starting to get worse. So, yeah, I mean, a lot of us are patiently waiting for the next update, hoping that it will, finally address most of the issues in the game, at least the main issues, and add, new content, new roles, etc. But it does suck. A lot more people are definitely losing patience with Red Dead Online. See, Chax, I sure hope this lasts as long as Grand Theft Auto has. I sincerely hope that's the case as well, Chax. I always felt like it was never going to be as big as Grand Theft Auto Online because Grand Theft Auto Online is a much bigger playground. It's a much bigger franchise, and there's just a lot more you can do in Grand Theft Auto Online than Red Dead Online when it comes to the content. But I do feel like Red Dead Online, if the fixes are made and if more content continues to be added, can be a success in its own right. So I, too, hope that it has a nice long lifespan that lasts longer than hopefully a year or two. Let's see, Hal 1138, Red Dead Online is the worst experience I've had online this generation. Bugs, disconnects, glitches, lag, etc. I played most of the service games and larger online games this generation. Red Dead Online, without a doubt, is far worse than any other. And that's something I know people will debate and go back and forth on. Some people are obviously going to agree with you, Hal. Some people will disagree. They may cite Fallout 76, for example. But one thing is obvious, this game does have issues. And that's something that the community is very much aware of. I think most of us look at Red Dead Online without rose-colored glasses. We love the game. It's beautiful. There's a great deal of potential in it. But there's obviously a lot of flaws and issues that need to be worked out. But is it the worst online game this generation? That's up for all of you to decide. I sincerely hope it's not. I think there may be a few other candidates out there, but I can definitely agree with you on the points you made as to why you think that it is potentially the worst. Let's see, Sedan. Hello, Sedan. Let's see, I can't see Red Dead Online suddenly changing with a single patch. Thus far, Rockstar seems to prefer to string an update over months rather than giving us a real substantial drop of new quality content. Fundamentally, I don't think Red Dead Online experience is going to change moving forward. We'll just get more of the same. Look at look at Grand Theft Auto Online for the most part. A lot of new content that has been reskins of quote-unquote buy this new building, do some missions, have wait timers, then do some more missions. And don't forget the cars and all the griefer toys. Rockstar makes so much money out of minimal effort content with these games. even the simplest little patches and fixes don't seem to be priorities for them. That being said, we've had some of the same feelings back before the game left beta, and it didn't take much to have people turn their thoughts around on the game. With the same happening again, maybe, who knows? I hope that they start improving the game and showing us some new major upgrades and content drops, that maybe things will start an upward swing. Reddit Online has always been short on content and fixes. And in fairness, it's still, I guess you could say, hopefully in its early days of a lifespan. And it took a while for Grand Theft Auto Online to really take off as well. There were updates like the business update, High Life, Hipster, etc., leading up to the Heist update, which was the first really big update for Grand Theft Auto Online. And that was the real game changer. So hopefully we have a game-changing update coming sooner rather than later to Red Dead Online. Shadow Pikachu, agreed with everything you said, GB, since I want to love Red Dead Online, but I had numerous issues that made me leave. When I came back a couple months ago, the problems are still there, which baffles me. Yeah, baffles a lot of us, Shadow Pikachu. Carlos, let's see. Carlos says, after almost 2 months away, I logged in for the last 3 days several times with 22 out of 23 people lobbies. I saw many animals constantly, but the camp pitch issue failed sometimes. Yeah, there's mixed results, obviously. Some have reported to see animals spawning even in lobbies with 20 plus people. Most people actually don't report that. They say that they don't come across animals unless it's a smaller lobby type. It's still a question of what really causes the animals not to spawn or to spawn, depending on, I don't know, internet speed or where you happen to be regionally, or whether or not you're just away from all the other players, and maybe it's a proximity issue. I don't know. But it does seem apparent that the smaller lobbies run a lot better than larger lobbies, and there are obviously exceptions. Now, we would like a best case scenario for lobbies of 23 plus players to still have everything work. The animals to spawn, the camp to pitch properly, along with everything else. But, you know, unfortunately, that's not the case. Let's see. Bill Shamrock, do you honestly believe that Rockstar is going to miss the chance to double dip when the new consoles come out? So this harkens back to what I said in the Breaking Point video. So we obviously know that next gen's coming, Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5, and both are going to cater to backwards compatibility. I think PlayStation is going to have up to 100 games at launch. I don't know how many Xbox is going to have, but obviously that's where the Xbox One has been winning right now, is in backwards compatibility for Xbox 360 and even original Xbox games. And so Sony is trying to get into that as well. Now, as I mentioned, Project Red, CG Project Red, is going to be releasing Cyberpunk this fall on current gen, but it's also going to come out for next gen. But they've already mentioned that you won't have to buy the game again. You won't have to triple dip for CD Projekt Red's new game, Cyberpunk 2077. So if you buy it for current gen, you'll be able to either take that and make it backwards compatible on whatever next gen console you get, or there'll just be a way that you can play it also on next gen if you already purchased it on last gen. And this is something a lot of us are hoping Rockstar will follow suit on, but unfortunately they do have a track record of double, triple dipping, like, you know, last gen for Grand Theft Auto 5 with 360, PlayStation 3, and then they came out with updated versions for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, and then of course for PC. But that's kind of different. But a lot of people are concerned that Rockstar is going to do the same damn thing with Red Dead Online and Red Dead Redemption 2, is that they're simply just going to create a next-gen version of Red Dead Redemption 2 that we'll have to purchase. But I sincerely hope not. I hope it's just backwards compatible. Let's see. Benton shows Rockstar is walking a thin line of consuming before date, reaching spoil date quite rapidly. Yeah, and I think that a lot of people are really at their wits' end when it comes to giving Red Dead Online and Rockstar chances. And like we've been talking about, the next update has to provide content that brings people back to the game and also addresses a lot of the major issues. And if it fails to do both, then you're going to start to see more people leave, and they may not come back. Let's see, Vision, this is why you're my favorite Red Dead Redemption YouTuber. Thank you very, very much, Vision, for that. No 10-minute bullshit, and you give your honest opinion. Well, I always try to be honest, Vision, unless I'm trying not to hurt somebody's feelings. that's the exception. But anytime I make a video, whether it's one of my event videos or doing my live streams, I will definitely try and be as upfront and honest with all of you as possible. And the size and length of my videos is just how long it ends up being. I don't intentionally try to get to 10 minutes like some YouTubers. But if it happens to be a 10-minute video, it's a 10-minute video. If it's a 20-minute video, it's a 20-minute video. If it's a 5-minute video, it's a 5-minute video. That's just the way it works. Let's see, Wayward One. I heard it will be a photographer role. To be honest, if that's true, I'm done. If I wait over 4 months and that's it, it's taking pictures. Let's see, we already have that option to use the camera. This is an outlaw game. Who should have thought that it's a good idea to have a photographer instead of fixing the game? Still have issues with animals, etc. So I don't think that it's going to be specifically a photographer role. Now, whatever role comes out could have a photographer element to it, which hopefully will include improvements to the camera, because I'm not really a fan of the in-game camera. I wish they would add the Rockstar editor to Red Dead Online. I love the Rockstar editor in Grand Theft Auto Online, but hopefully they'll eventually add that to Red Dead Online. But I'm also hoping that they add something better than just simply a naturalist role. I would like there to be multiple roles, like 2 or 3 roles with the next update. That way we had some variety. So if there was a naturalist role where it also tied into photography, you would also add something else as well, like an outlaw role or a lawman role. And I don't think that Red Dead Online is just an outlaw game. I think it's a Western game, Wild West. And it allows you to be an outlaw, or if you want to be a bounty hunter or a lawman or a collector or a trader. And that's part of the fun of Red Dead Online, is it allows you to explore the game in whatever direction you wish to go, whether you want to be a white hat or a black hat. Let's see, Shiloh Doggo, I still remember Tuesday used to be the day that I look forward to check the new content. It's hard to feel excited playing Red Dead Online now. Yeah, the past few event weeks have gotten a little bit better, but I mean, especially since there's rumors that we're supposed to be getting an update to Red Dead Online soon, and unfortunately at the recording of this video and in this past Tuesday's Event Week Newswire, there was not even a tease for the next update to Red Dead Online. And that can be discouraging with the community, because this game obviously needs content. Now, we know that there's a much larger issue going on around the world, but at the same time, I think that there is probably a spring update underway. Whether or not it comes out next week or in a few weeks from now remains to be seen. But as I always like to say, I will definitely keep you all informed once we have some confirmed information. Next, let's go to No. I agree with you, GB. I think they made bug fixes so the next update isn't an entire mess. And most likely we would have gotten a mid to end March update, but now it would probably be pushed back due to the bug. Hope we can get an update in the next few weeks with minimal bugs. And that's something that I know that I was just simply saying my theory, which may turn out to be BS. It's possible, but I would like to believe that maybe the patches are pieces of a jigsaw puzzle Rockstar's putting together. Maybe it seems like they're not accomplishing anything, but maybe once they're combined along with the spring update, maybe it actually fixes the game. And look, I'm not an expert. It's just a theory, and it could be totally BS. I'm willing to admit that, but I would like to believe that there's a plan in place and that it will actually result by the spring update in significant improvements to the game. I don't expect all the problems to go away, but just like the big ones that we are constantly talking about. Let's see, Fat Chinese Gaming. By the way, Fat Chinese Gaming just reached 2,000 subs, so congratulations to Fat. I was tempted to let my 100 days streak go until the last minute. I got on, got a daily done, and got back off. That cannot be the future of Red Dead Online. We need something exciting. We need something good that will make both PvE and the PvP community happy. We need something like Heist for PvE players. Well, that can appeal to a lot of people. Or last team standing stuff for PvP players. Something new, something unique. Well, one can hope. Yeah, and I know a lot of people are just deciding to walk away from their daily streak. And it is interesting that Rockstar did give us an incentive to keep our streaks going with the daily challenge bonuses. But after 3 days of doing that, I think a lot of people are going to be like, you know what, forget it. I got that extra stuff, and I'm just going to take a little break. But you're right. I sincerely hope that they do have plans for a version of Heist for Red Dead Online, as a lot of us have talked about for a while now. And I would like them to make a creator for various PvE, PvP modes. that would be a lot of fun for the PvP players to be able to create their own maps and their own showdowns, their own horse races, hopefully with some options like the ability to disable weapons or ability cards, or only use certain ammo types. So that would be a good idea. And that's something they mentioned a long time ago. But just like with the Rockstar editor, we have yet to see any form of a creator added to Red Dead Online. Let's see, Kenneth, let's see, in my eyes, the game has reached its all-time low. I can't use my camp on the map because it's not there. I can't enter my moonshine shack and do challenges or run a delivery. Can't fish either because I can't pull out the rod. Tried 3 times to run my Greta Moonshine, which I've made 4 days ago. Black loading screen, and it's the same if I try to make the trade run. I do occasionally get a camp or into the shitty shack, but to what use? Now I spend less than 30 minutes a day to do a few easy daily challenges just to keep my streak going, and maybe I'll quit for good and focus on my gaming to like Modern Warfare 4 Warzone or Modern Warfare 2. Too bad, it could be such a great game. So yeah, just like with Kenneth, a lot of people, including myself, are simply just logging on just to keep their daily challenge streak going. And like Fat was talking about a moment ago, it shouldn't feel like a chore. You should actually want to log on every day. And the daily challenges are just one more thing you would want to do. You know, you'd want to do the daily challenges to keep your streak going, getting as much gold as possible, but it shouldn't be the only reason why we're logging into Red Dead Online every single day. But unfortunately for a lot of players at the moment, that's one of the few reasons why some people are still jumping on. Let's see, Carlco, let's see, not all of us are fed up with Red Dead. New content needed, but we don't need stuff just dump like Grand Theft Auto 5 has lots of stuff, but half of it's rubbish. Have patience, this virus will slow everything. Well, look, I appreciate the optimism, and I think it's important to believe that Rockstar's not going to abandon Red Dead Online anytime soon, even if it does feel like that sometimes. But after a while, when these issues continue to pile up and they don't go away and they're not resolved, and the fact that we are in a dry period between updates where there's no real new content until the next update, of course people are going to start to get fed up. Just like so many others have pointed out, you know, problem after problem, and none of these are new. The infinite loading screen, the disconnects, the camp pitch problem, animal spawns, etc. So it's understandable that a growing number of members of the community are starting to get fed up with Red Dead Online, myself included. But there's always hope that the next update might start to turn the game around and finally get Rockstar with Red Dead Online in the right direction. Dr. Funster, Red Dead Online Wildlands is the next update. I sincerely hope not, Dr. Funster. I really hope not. Let's see, CNO. What's up, CNO? I think our collective disappointment is so high because our expectations were so high based on story mode, and they haven't even come close to meeting our expectations in online. I don't think my expectations were ever at that level, because if you go back to Grand Theft Auto 5 and you compare that to Grand Theft Auto Online, there's just some things that a story mode game can do that you're never going to see done in an online version, at least in this generation. Maybe a future generation like Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5, that may transpire. But I never expected Red Dead Online to be as good as Red Dead Redemption 2. But I expected it to improve. I mean, during the beta period, it was horrible. So it is better than it was a year ago. But like I mentioned a few times already, I don't think my expectations were high at all. I mean, I want it to be good. I want it to be successful. But I don't think that they were like lofty, ridiculous expectations. But anyways, moving on to Toast Track Man. I don't think the game is dead yet. I believe the best is yet to come. Toast Track Man, I sincerely hope that's the case. When the next generation console comes out later this year, if it comes out later this year, and the current world crisis settles down, I think things will improve in line, but the game will never be as big as Grand Theft Auto Online. Yeah, I agree. There's a lot of reasons why Grand Theft Auto Online will be bigger than Red Dead Online. That's a given. You know, plus, you know, the fact is it does make a lot of money for Rockstar and Take-Two, but it's just a practical thing. There's just so much more you can do in the world of Grand Theft Auto Online than you can in Red Dead Online. But like I've been saying, I think that Red Dead Online can be a success. Let's see. Will, hello, Will. I was going to disagree with you. Oh no, you're going to disagree with me. How dare you, Will? Just kidding. But like you said, be civil. That's right. You have a right to disagree with me, as long as you're civil. That's all I ask. With the long-term issues, seems like they're unable to do their own game. Honestly, though, this game is still in its infancy. There's still a lot more to come. I play it a lot. I have enough money and gold to buy anything and almost everything. I have experienced a few times of being in low-pop lobbies. It was absolutely outstanding to play, so I know it can be done. And I agree with you on that, actually. I do think that if Rockstar is able to address the issues in the game, the main issues, the main problems, fix them, and continue adding content that we want, and I think giving us different lobby types is definitely a major step in the right direction, then I do think that we could see Red Dead Online be a success for years to come. And I do think that it's still in its early days, and that's why I haven't completely abandoned the game, but hopefully most of you understand why myself and many of you are frustrated with the game as of right now. But there's still hope that it will improve. Let's see, Bill Shamrock again. You made a vid the other day where you were talking about the new Invisible Camp theme. Yeah, my April Fool's video. But I just got the new Invisible Moonshine Shack. On Sunday's video, on a live stream on Sunday, during a caravan stranger mission for Bonnie, I had an invisible Wagoneer. That was freaking hilarious. What wasn't funny is when my stream went dead because of an OBS ISP issue, but, you know, I was about to wrap up that stream anyway, so it is what it is. Buckshot Assassin, the animal issues are fixed for low-level players. I have 3 accounts, and my 2 low-level characters have no issue, but my 340 rank character is unplayable. See, if that's true, that's crazy. I mean, I have 3 characters as well, and my lowest ranked character is about to reach rank 100 on PC, but well, on PC it's a little different. I think, now some people have mentioned that they've had issues with animal spawns on PC as well, plus you have the modding issues to worry about on PC, but, I mean, that's a possibility, you know, it's a possibility. Maybe low-level players have a better go at it when it comes to animals, and if you're a low-level player, let me know. Do you see more animals in your lobbies, or do you still have the same problem as veteran players? Let's see, Bearmo of Grand Theft Auto is apparently not getting an update until June or July. I don't think it'll happen to this somehow. Well, Bearmo, I think it's imperative that Red Dead Online gets an update before Grand Theft Auto because, as some of you pointed out, Grand Theft Auto Online has a ton of content already from, you know, years and years of updates. So at the moment, Grand Theft Auto Online is on much better footing than Red Dead Online. So I think that the priority is going to be giving Red Dead Online an update prior to Grand Theft Auto. But Rockstar did mention in last Thursday's Grand Theft Auto event week, which I do cover, by the way, Red Dead and GTA on Tuesdays and Thursdays, that they are already teasing the next update for Grand Theft Auto. And I think that Red Dead could be coming soon, like Taz and others have speculated. Plus, we have deep discounts this week in the event week of Red Dead Online, which is a tell that they have plans for a update soon enough, within a week or so. So I think it's coming. But I think that you could be right about when we might expect a Grand Theft Auto Online update. Probably, I would say maybe May-ish, June possibly, but we shall see. Let's see. Keith, ever heard of the saying, to flog a dead horse? A red dead horse? It's already dead. I think it's intended on Rockstar's part. They're on to pasture a new game. Let's see, RIP Red Dead Redemption 2. Now, Keith, I hope you're wrong. You could be right. But I would like to believe that Rockstar has yet to sunset and abandon this game. And if they do, then they do. And it would be very unfortunate if they were to. But I think that because of next gen, especially if they intend on having a next gen version of Red Dead Redemption 2 to sell, I think that there's at least a year or 2 lifespan at the minimum left for Red Dead Online. But hopefully it'll last longer. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I see Brian. Hello, Brian. Awesome video, GB. Thank you, Brian. Let's see. I think Rockstar should fix the game and make awesome update and give us heists. Yeah, a lot of people really hope that we get heists sooner or later in Red Dead Online. I think that would definitely be a game changer, especially if it's similar to the casino heist, the way it's set up in Grand Theft Auto Online. Let's see. Cody, full of potential. Everything has potential. And Cody, you have potential. Let's see. Carl Cole again. I'm on PC and I have very few issues. It's not broke for everyone. Yeah, PC players sometimes have better luck, except for, as I mentioned, the mods that tend to occur in the game. But if you have a really good gaming rig and you have a really good internet, I've experienced not as many problems on PC as on, say, PlayStation 4 Pro or Xbox One X. But once again, it depends on a variety of factors, obviously. Let's see, John, not all the time. There's players that can put a glitch on you. We don't see animals until they leave the server. If that is true, John, then that would only probably be for PC, because PC is quite literally the Wild West of Red Dead Online compared to consoles for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, which is protected by the PlayStation Network and Xbox Live. Let's see, Paul. Hello, Paul. I think Xbox One seems to have a lot more problems than the other platforms. I'm considering getting it on PC to try something different. It's very frustrating. Yeah, I've noticed that as well, and I do apologize, Archangel. As I mentioned earlier, I'm not going to read over a novel. I appreciate you taking the time to write the novel, and I understand everybody's frustrations and everything you're saying about the game having potential and all the issues in it. You know, it's stuff that a lot of us sympathize with and agree with, Archangel, but hopefully you understand why I'm not going to read over novels, whether from you or Sudan or others. So let's move on to DK. I gave up on my 138-day streak. Been playing since the beta, and now have come to hate the game I've loved so much. Yeah, there are times whenever I feel like it's happening for me, especially when I'm trying to do something as simple as log in to do a daily, even an easy daily, and I can't even log in without a disconnect happening or some other nonsense. It also depends on my mood that day, and if I have something I want to go get done, and I'm just trying to get this out of the way, especially since I triple dip. Yeah, there are times whenever I get frustrated too, and under my breath, I'll catch myself like, I hate this game. So I don't think I really do hate Red Dead Online, but there's just issues and problems that I hate, but not the game itself. So I hope that makes sense. Snake, let's see. Well said, GB, and it makes perfect sense to me. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much, Snake. Moving on to Midnight. Hello, Midnight. Let's see. Yes, it's fully broken all over the place. The only way to make it work is to do solo lobby glitch, and you'll be good. If you can pull it off, over 20 players will make everything broken and disconnects. And instead of a lobby glitch, and I know people are doing it, and if that's how you get a solo lobby, then more power to you. Rockstar could just make it easier on everybody by simply just giving us different lobby types, like a invite lobby, a friend lobby, a posse lobby, or some of you mentioned a hardcore lobby for the players that love to PvP each other. Let's see, Steven, I've been playing since day one of the beta. I've been playing every single day for the past year and a half. I never thought I would play every day, but the last 3 weeks I haven't picked it up. It's really sad. I love Red Dead Online, ride or die, but I'm just completely burnt out, and a lot of us are getting that way. If there's new content coming soon, hell yeah, but I'll see, I'll be there, and I'll probably get sucked in again, but it's just a draft now. Boring. Rockstar, pick up your feet, behind you 100%. I believe you can get bigger and better than Grand Theft Auto. I love the vid, GB. Thank you very much, Steven, and like a lot of us feel, sincerely hope that they continue to improve the game. All right, so moving on to James. Hello, James. Let's see. Hello, you're right. We need to face facts here that the animal issues was going to be fixed. It would have been sorted out by now. Game's a masterpiece and story, but disaster in online. I played it from start, and I think I gave up after the last 2 patches when they made a slight acknowledgement of animal issues, and for a day it seemed like things were going to get a little bit better, but honestly it hasn't. It's gotten worse, and I'm not confident that even a new DLC will fix the game anymore. Well, like I said, James, I sincerely hope you're wrong, but there's always a possibility that you could end up being right. But I think you would also like to be wrong as well. So I guess the best thing we can do is just hope that the next update, hopefully coming soon, will add awesome content and fix these issues once and for all, hopefully. Let's see, Endless Synthwave. Hello, Endless. Let's see, I love the game when it works, but lately I'm really starting to get annoyed with the bugs like infinite loading screen, camp not spawning, I can't enter my Moonshine Shack, broken animal spawns especially, and also stranger missions, bounty boards not working, which it really pisses me off because I like doing those kinds of missions, but I hear so much about Rockstar Editor, which I don't know about, but I hear it'll fix most of the games and online problems. Well, it doesn't fix the game issues. It's just fun. It allows you to make little machinimas, It'll allow you to do some really good screenshots for thumbnails, or just to have screenshots. Way better than that camera that we have in our satchel. Let's see, I just like more variety and longer stranger missions and butchers throughout the map. Yeah, well, I think if they added more butchers table, like I talked about a while back, you know, I've made several videos on the channel. Some of you may have known that already, but yeah, that's one of the things I would have liked for them to do, is add more butcher stands, like maybe one to McFarland, maybe one to Ansburg. Eventually, I would like to see Wapiti updated, where they actually add the Wapiti tribe, and obviously they would add a butcher stand up there too, along with a few other stores. I see Jason. Hello, Jason. I used to play for hours. Now I just hop on and do a couple of dailies, and close to play another game. I'm sure the new update will have other roles or something to get our attention, but if they don't fix the problems that exist and have been since the beta, then most of us won't be playing it as much as we'd like to. It sucks because I love this game, as do I, but I feel like Rockstar loves GTA more. I think they do sincerely want Red Dead Online to succeed. I think they have a plan, but the problems definitely make it difficult for that plan to be realized. And it does take time to make content, just like it did with Grand Theft Auto Online. But the problems do drive players away. And if you get to the point where the community has been bled so much, where there's hardly anybody playing it, Rockstar may eventually feel like they have no choice but to sunset the game and move on. But I hope that they still intend on supporting it for another year or two. At least I'd like to believe that's the case. Moving on to Lady Curie. Hello, lady. Let's see. I managed to get a solo session last night. Played for 12 hours. No disconnects, no bugs. Everything worked as intended. Camps worked, sales worked, resupply tokens worked, moonshine worked, bounties didn't bug or freeze, stranger missions worked, ambient events spawned. I never once dropped through the ground or got flung into the sky randomly. Well, that's just some good random fun. My horse didn't bug at all, and the world was populated with animals. I played for 12 hours with no issues, and, you know, loathed logging off. Let's see, this game is so amazing and incredible when it actually works. I agree. I think that what's most frustrating, we've seen how it works flawlessly and know its potential, but sessions with more than 15 players, it just breaks in such a way that makes it unplayable. I agree. See, if you're like me and losing faith in Red Dead, glitch a solo session and remind yourself of the beauty of this game. As much as I don't really care for glitches, especially like money and gold glitches, I feel like that this would be like an exception. So if there's a way to glitch a solo lobby, that's probably something that some of you should look into. I don't know how to do it, so someone needs to teach me how to do it. Rockstar would probably patch it, though, most likely. Let's see, Mike. What's up, Mike? I see didn't quit playing because of the issues, just lost interest because there's nothing left epic to grind for. Well, Mike, I sincerely hope that the next update will bring content that piques your interest as well as everybody else's, along with the fixes, of course. ESP, let's see, I don't think you can port files to PlayStation 5. They didn't allow PC players. Well, I'd like to believe that we'll be able to have backwards compatibility for Red Dead Redemption 2 and Red Dead Online if we've already purchased the game on Xbox One and our PlayStation 4. So hopefully for PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, we'll be able to do so, and hopefully Rockstar will not try to dip out of our pockets again. I don't have a problem with them creating a quote-unquote next-gen version of Red Dead Redemption 2 and even selling that version, but they should also have it to where players that have already bought the damn game previously the means to simply transfer over to next gen and not have to pay an additional $60. But as some of you pointed out, with their track record, I wouldn't bet the farm on it. And at the very least, hopefully we'll be able to actually transfer over our Red Dead Online character from last gen to current gen. Now I realize we weren't able to do that with current gen to PC, but hopefully Rockstar will allow us to do so when it comes to the Red Dead Online current gen and next gen. Yeah, they better at least, because I don't really feel like starting over again, Rockstar. I think most people feel the same way. Let's see, Rob, my opinion is it's not dead. Every day I log in for the daily challenges. There's 21 to 24 people in the lobby, and it rarely gets below 19. Granted, there's mostly rank 60 and lower, but people are still playing it. You just got to find a way to find it, enjoy it. I agree. There's always things to enjoy about Red Dead Online, despite the issues that it currently has. Lately, I've just been messing with griefers, been using a starter outfit and cheap horse looking on new players and wrecking them when they start something. So you've been just trying to make yourself look like a new player. I get it. I get it. See, not the highest rank, 178. It's something, but it's been fun. So that is one of the beauties of Red Dead Online. Despite these problems, despite the lack of content, they're still fun to be had, especially if the game is functioning normally with as little problems as possible. You can just ride around exploring the world of Red Dead Online, fishing, hunting, doing the stranger missions, running into dynamics, collecting, looting. So yeah, there are things to do, but after a while, you do obviously desire to have more content and less problems. Let's see, Teeny K. Hello, Teeny. Let's see, these problems breaking the roles and the fundamentals of the game have existed for months. Yeah, they have. If Rockstar saw a greater player drop-off earlier, perhaps these issues would have been fixed. But no, you continue to invest time and maybe money into this broken product, telling Rockstar you didn't care that you would play the game even if broken. So what else is there incentive to fix it? Well, I disagree, TNK. I do think the numbers are dropping. It may not seem like it, but I do think the numbers are going down. I mean, I've comments after comments in my videos of people that have stopped playing the game, just like in this feedback video. Furthermore, I do think that Rockstar is getting the feedback from the community via the Red Dead Online feedback page, or through the tweets, or comment section of videos, or videos themselves. So I do think they are aware of the fact that there are things in the game that players want fixed, and that there are issues that players are not happy about. So I do think that they are listening, and it's like a big giant ship. It's slow to turn. But I'd like to believe that the game is slowly turning into the right direction. But we'll find out one way or the other come the next update, whether it's in a week or so from now. Let's see. Lemoine, Red Dead Online is becoming dead and broke, dying. We really need to swap characters and skip tutorials so we can skip the stupid training. Let's see. Well, I don't know. I mean, I understand the tutorial for new players, and it would be nice to have a secondary character, just like in Grand Theft Auto Online, because a lot of people have been wanting that. And yeah, I'm not a fan of having to do the tutorial again, because I've had to do it 3 times. Once on PlayStation 4, once on Xbox One, and also once on PC. But most players will probably only have to do it once because they can only afford one platform, whether it's Xbox or PlayStation or PC. Thanks, Lemoine, and everybody that left comments regarding my Breaking Point video from Monday. Appreciate it as always. And I do like to believe that despite all the flaws in the game as of right now, and the fact that it does frustrate a lot of us, and we've gotten to that breaking point, and the need for there to be an improvement to the game with an update and necessary fixes that we've been asking for, like different lobby types, I still hold out hope, believe it or not, that Rockstar will turn around Red Dead Online. They managed to do it with Grand Theft Auto Online because a lot of people were writing off Grand Theft Auto Online before the heist update came out in 2015, and I feel like the same can happen with Red Dead Online. So here's hoping that we have not reached the breaking point of Red Dead Online, and that the spring update will make the game and put it in the right direction and bring more people back to playing the game heading into 2020. At least we can only hope that that is the case. So we'll just have to wait and see one way or the other. But anyways, as always, thank you so much to all my awesome viewers, subscribers, fans, mods, members for continuing to support the channel. Even if it's not financially, it still means a lot to me that you subscribe and like my videos and live streams. That definitely helps. And watch the videos if you enjoy them in the live streams. That does too. But if you didn't have a chance to chime in with your thoughts, views, and opinions regarding whether or not you think Red Dead Online has reached a breaking point, feel free and do so below in the comments section.